Merci beaucoup. Un grand merci aux organisateurs du 10e congrès pour l'invitation. Je suis désolé, je n'ai pas continué parler en français. Mon anglais is more or less the same, but yeah, I'm going to try to speak in English. I think it's better. Could be easier in Spanish, but yeah, we're going to try. I want to tell, first of all, to apologize to Amparo Escartí, who firstly asked to come here, but yeah, she fell down and little accident, so yeah, now she's good and she gives also a big huge for all of us. And yeah, I come from University of Alicante, near Valencia, so that's the connection with Amparo Escartí research group. But above all, I'm here as a physical education lover and believer that with physical education and sports, we can transform people and also society. So my presentation have 3 key points. Briefly, I will share my travel with TPSR. In second time, I will share like the travel in Spain with TPSR and how we adapt it to school context and out of school. And finally, I will share some TPSR current, present and future projects. So I will conclude also with a small present for you and a big question, I think. So I started. Yeah, I'm about to be a father for the first time. So I have spent some time reflecting on what made me happy when I was younger. So I could share it with my daughter. Without a doubt, physical education and sports have been my main vehicle to enjoy a positive childhood and adolescence, and also to overcome life's adversities. When I started studying sports science and when I have to choose a topic for my PhD, I wanted to be able to contribute with sports and physical education to positive youth development. That's when I discovered Don Hellison work and all the team that have been with him. And I ran to Valencia because I discovered that Amparo Escartí was the researcher who was working with TPSR, and yeah, it was like a great discovery for me. And nowadays, I really embodied with the TPSR because I'm teaching physical education in secondary school, in high school. I also work as an assistant professor at the University of Alicante, researching in TPSR and sharing it. And finally, when I finished my PhD, I created like a group, an association named MVP Sport, to also disseminate the TPSR around Spain and also in South America. So the TPSR voyage in Spain starts with like the question that everybody knows: what really matters? What's worth doing in sports? The second step is the adaptation, in which I will share some details of how we adapted the TPSR to the Spanish context. And finally, what procedure of application and evaluation you use with the TPSR. So this question, what is really important with youth education? Or how we can contribute to positive youth development through physical education and sport? This is the powerful question that has brought all of us here. And it's the same question that led Donald Hellison to create the TPSR. It's the same question that moved Amparo Escartí to meet Don Hellison, and try to come back to Spain with a great challenge. How can we adapt this model to the Spanish context? So here starts the second phase, the adaptation. And I think this is a very important statement for all of us. We have to try to adapt the TPSR to our context to make it valuable. So this is more or less the different phases that start in Spain applying the TPSR in youth at risk in the educational system, more or less at 2000. After that, the application starts in physical education in primary school. After that, the jump to applying the TPSR to different subjects, not only in physical education, but in primary school also. The next step was to apply and evaluate the TPSR in higher school, in physical education. And now we are trying also to adapting it to sports and out of school, and with some governmental agencies to prevent doping as youth, and also to promoting fair play in sports. So now what's the third phase? How is the procedure for application and evaluation of the TPSR? Step one, like the training for coaches or teachers, it's about 20 to 30 hours of TPSR fundamentals, principles, levels, as Sylvie before told us. And after that first formation in TPSR, the second phase is letting these coaches and trainers and educators to work with TPSR in their classes or in their sport sessions. And at the same time, we start like an ongoing training. We go to supervise, to observe them, and more or less between 15 days, we visit it and evaluate how are they implementing the TPSR model. After that, we start the evaluation, and we distinguish like the evaluation of the fidelity of implementation, the evaluation of the effects on teachers and coaches, and the evaluation of the effects on the youth people. So now, some results from one of the last intervention that we made it applying TPSR at the schools. The intervention group was composed by 300 students from 8 to 16 years from a low middle class city near Valencia. The control group had the same characteristics, and to analyze the effects of the program on the students, we use a quasi-experimental design on repeated measurements, pre and post test, with a control group. And to analyze the effects on teachers, we did a focus group. As you can see on the image, basically the statistical significant differences are in prosocial development and care for others and goal setting, and also in self-efficacy for enlisting social resources. You can see it more clearly what have been the effects on students and also in the teachers. In teachers, as you can see, all teachers that participated in this study, physical education teachers, have that kind of effect. Higher sensibilization to promote positive values through physical education, a better coherence with the aim. Yeah, you know that we found that they are connected, what we are trying to do and what they really do on practice, coherence. And they increase their satisfaction to go into class and to feel that they are doing like a good job knowing and applying the TPSR model. And as you can see now, this is quite similar, but this intervention is applying the TPSR in sports clubs. Applying the same procedure, the same model, but now in sport clubs of different sports. The sample of students is more or less the same, the age is more or less the same, and the results are practically the same. So we found that again the youth that have participated in the study increase prosocial behavior, social responsibility, and also self-efficacy for enlisting social resources. And also we found that the coaches reported us a better sensibilization to infuse positive values through the sport sessions. Also coherence with the words and real practices, and satisfaction that they feel that are a better coach after implementing with TPSR. So the big conclusions with these results, with these interventions that we have made, are that the effects on youth people are very similar in the application of the TPSR in physical education and also in sport clubs. The level of professional development and satisfaction of teachers and of coaches who are training in TPSR are high. And finally, nowadays in Spain, the youth sport model of winning at all costs worsens the process of sports education. Although the TPSR could be a model that can support the achievement of two important goals at the same time. Achieve a better sports performance and also to contribute to a positive youth development. But we need further research projects to validate these hypotheses. What are, from now, our big challenges with TPSR? We think that to promote new collaborative research projects, to evaluate the effects with new measuring instruments, technological, biological, and behavioral, because we have used a lot of questionnaires and observation procedures, but we are trying to include more holistic measurements. Second one, to try to apply the TPSR to all the educational context in higher school. And finally, to involve parents in all the objectives and all the creation and implementation of TPSR to facilitate this transference really between coaches or educational system, family system, and social system. And what are like the challenges that we are facing nowadays? First of all, We are implementing projects to train physical education teachers in TPSR through the national territory with the collaboration of the National Anti-Doping Agency in Spain to prevent youth doping and to promote fair play. The second challenge that we are now in our hands is to implement projects in different sport clubs to train coaches from different sports disciplines to improve sports performance and also positive values in youth people. And finally, there is like a huge interest in South America in the program, and Amparo Escartí is now developing a project with University of Barranquilla in Colombia, the group of Barcelona who are working with the TPSR. They are also implementing projects in Peru and in Mexico in difficult and special social at-risk areas. So, as you can see, we are with huge responsibility, but we need, I think, to join, to collaborate, to go ahead with these huge programs, because yeah, we are like passionate with this. We are a bit like doubtful about the control that we can get in everything. So I think we need to keep talking about it. So yeah, to finish it, I would like to give like a bit present. It's like a free app that we have integrated like all the resources of the TPSR model. It's for free. I'm sorry because nowadays it's only in Spanish. We are trying to translate it in English, but it's like an interactive way to share the TPSR model with teachers, coaches that we work with, and they can have in the mobile phone all the resources to check it on the lessons or during the lessons or after it. So I think that one other project is to evaluate the benefits of the application in the fidelity of the implementation. So now we are starting with this. And finally, for me, the big question. And I would like you to maybe think only during 30 seconds about this question and maybe write some words or not only feeling it. But imagine that you could fast forward to the very last moments of your life when it's time for you to pass on, and now look back on your life or your sports life journey. What would you want to see at that moment? What footprint do you want to leave behind on the society with your sport work? I think like this question honors also Donald Hellison, and I think that it's not our final question. It's a powerful question that we have to remember every day that when we enter to a gym or we get in contact with our students, with our little boys and girls. So maybe a word or a sense getting now in you. But if not, no problem. This summer you can also use this question and try to connect with the answer. But because for me, the answer of this question empowers me every day to continue trying to make that change in my projects or in my daily life with TPSR. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Federico.
Good job. We have time for questions.
So, one of the interesting things is that I'm interested in is that change of culture. So something like respect, as perhaps is understood in the USA, was that the same when you went to and looked at the Spanish culture, or was it different? Or is there some, in essence, was it the same, or were there cultural differences?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, it's like a huge difference because the coach forget like the educational process of the sports. Also when they are losing at the result. Yeah, but they are so focused on technical or tactical, developing then technical or tactical skills. They can share with you that have the intention to educate or promote positive values, but the reality, yeah, we are losing a lot of people, youth people that grow up in sports because they don't connect with that kind of so technical or tactical educational sports model, because we see that boys and girls from 5-6 years, yeah, they are being trained or coached as mini adults. So where is like the positive way of educate for sports? So that's why we are trying to get involved in sports clubs, in sports national organizations, yeah, to try to disseminate the idea. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the presentation. What interests me is when you talked about high performance and social responsibility, personal social responsibility not being mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
And I think that may be a lever. It's a lever for change. So how would you research that? Perhaps you can't even answer this, but it's a thought. And how would you prove that so that, or make that become aware to people that those two things aren't mutually exclusive? Because we kind of think, people kind of think that they are, don't they?
Yeah. I think it's a great question also. And first thing is, yeah, don't say no to the competition, don't say no to win. Okay, say yes to competition, say yes to, we are trying to make our best, but how are going to win, how are going to get to our best performance? Now I can, or we can share like a educational framework that can help you to achieve it. So we try to to share with these coaches, clubs, that we have like a double objective, a double goal.
Do they buy it? Do they buy into it?
It's difficult nowadays. It's difficult. It's difficult. Maybe one coach, two coaches, but the sport pressure, the club culture, the pressure around parents, and yeah, it's amazing how can you walk around Saturday morning and watch what's happening in a field of 5, 6, 7-year-old boys and girls.
It's interesting because in New Zealand we have a team called the Breakers, a basketball team, and they play in the Australia-New Zealand League. And they've won, how many, 3 championships?
3 or 4, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, as you're making me think about them, why aren't we researching those teams? That they are known for their family values, they were known, players just are lining up to play for them. So you know, we need to be perhaps seeing where things are going well and be researching that, what is actually happening in that team. People talk about it, but look inside the black box and then make some shifts from that perspective.
Yeah, I think that Tom also has experiences in that way. That I think it's difficult, but we are trying to change the perception. It's sometimes the most difficult thing, but if we do it with rigorous designs and we measure everything, the performance the fair play of that teams, the community culture around that team. We can support that aim with great data, and I think it's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good on you.
The artist, so
Yeah.
nice question.
I just had a technical question about the duration of the training for the teacher.
Yeah.
How long does it take to train a teacher
Yeah.
in order that they use well the
Yeah.
TPSR? So,
The first stage of training coaches or physical education teachers, it lasts for about 20 or 30 hours. Yeah, we organize it maybe in sessions of 2-3 hours because you know that these people have a lot of stuff to do and their time is very limited. So maybe it lasts more or less like 2 months, 1 month and a half. It's so practical. We have improved the way we have teach at the beginning and the way we are teaching now, the TPSR. And when we finish it, they start implementing the TPSR maybe for 1 month. They send us like a sample of the session to observe how they integrate the levels of responsibility. And about 1 month and a half, we go to observe, and with the TARE, with the instrument that they told us, we sit down with that coach or with that teacher, and we share the feedback. Yeah, and the ongoing training, it's about 15, 20 days. So we have trained like an expert observators to do that job and help that teachers and coaches. Because if we don't do that ongoing training, we have seen that with 20 or 30 hours, we have to do a lot of workshops of 3, 4, 5, 10 hours, but we have forgotten that coaches and physical education teachers, and we don't get good results.
Thank you.